Hi everyone, this is Venkat. Today I am going to discuss about vendor portal. First of all, we should know what is vendor portal. Vendor portal is nothing but it's a vendor management. Okay, a vendor management portal enables e-procurement via self-managed supplier onboarding, submission of purchase orders, and request for quote, competitive vendor bidding, online invoicing and payment. Vendor portal provides secure and flexible self-access to vendors, reducing the productive time of employees spent on communicating the details of purchase order, stock details, overdue shipments, open invoices, payment history, goods and service delivery dates, quantity details and quantity compliance. With a vendor portal, you enable fast and standardized vendor onboarding procedure. We should also know why vendor portal is important. Vendor portal helps to streamline transaction through the automation process and subsequent reduction in the number of administrative tasks required to be performed by the employees. Okay, when we do anything manual procurement, it takes lot of time. Okay, to save the time, this vendor portal is used by many companies. Okay, Focus ERP has a vendor management module which I am going to show you. Okay, before that I will show you how to install vendor portal in Focus9 ERP. Whenever you install vendor portal, before that you need to install Focus9 application. Along with that you have to install vendor portal patch. Okay, now I will show you how to install vendor portal patch. Now I am explaining how to install vendor portal setup. After installing Focus9 ERP, you have this file called customer portal setup. This setup is for customer as well as vendor. Okay, now I will show you how to install this. You see where exactly this file is exist in the path. Just copy that path and you go to command prompt. Okay, in a administrator mode. After going to command prompt, just go to the respective drive. Okay, change the directory to that. Then you have to run this patch. Okay, by giving the option msiexec/a, then with the respective file name. When I click this, now you will get a portal setup wizard. Okay, click on next, again click on next, and then click on next. Okay, once the setup is done, you will get a message installation complete. Okay, once you get this message, what you need to do is you need to go to IIS manager, Internet Information Services Manager. Click on this. When you click on this, here you will see application pool sites. Under sites you have default website. Here you see you have a folder here, portal setup. What you need to do is you have to right click on this and you have to click on convert to application. When you click on convert to application, here you have one more option called directory browsing. Here you should see whether this is enabled or not. Okay, see here, if it is not enabled, disabled, just click on enable. Once this is enabled, what you need to do is you need to minimize this and you have to copy the dbconfig file from your inetpub folder wroot. Okay, you can go to any of the folder, to the bin folder, XML files, copy this dbconfig file to the portal setup bin folder, XML folder. Okay, I'll just overwrite this. Once this is overwriting is done, okay, you need to go to Internet Information Services. Okay, then click on your Internet Information Services and you click on restart. Okay, just restart the ISS services. Once this is restarted, then go to the portal setup. Here you have a browse option. Click here. When you click here, the portal setup browser will open. Please make sure that in IIS Manager on Focus9 API, when you try to browse this, make sure that this information should come. If this information is not coming, that means your Focus9 API is not set up properly. Okay, this information should come. Then only we assume that Focus9 API is installed properly. Okay, once this installation is done, okay, there is one more setup in ERP. Okay, you need to do the mail settings. So like this, your customer portal browser will open. So once you get this browser, that means your setup is done successfully. Here I am going to explain about the vendor portal management. In this we have different sections. One is ERP, one is purchase department, one is vendor self-service, and vendor dashboard. Okay, so in ERP we have to create a portal rights. Okay, to have an access, we have to create a portal rights. Once portal rights are created, we need to set the preferences. Okay, preferences means in the portal dashboard, whatever vendor like to see, that preferences we have to set. Okay, so whenever we create a vendor, we need to assign those portal rights. Then we need to log in into portal admin and send a link to the vendor. When we send a link to the vendor, he will get an email, okay, with the portal link and his login credentials and password. Okay, based on the link he gets, he will access that link and he will go into the vendor portal self-service. The purchase department, whenever they raise the PO, okay, that PO email will trigger from ERP to the vendor. On receipt of the email, vendor will open the vendor self-service portal and he will check the notifications. Okay, in the notifications, vendor will get all the pending POs. Okay, when he wants to see the details, he will go to the view details in the vendor self-service. Okay, after raising the PO, all the data will be synced to the vendor portal. Okay, now vendor, what he does is he will change the status, whether he wants to process this order or he wants to close this order, or he wants to keep this order as pending, or he wants to keep this order as open. So all this status he will update. Okay, whenever he updates the status, that status will get updated in the ERP. Okay, so there is a link between vendor portal and ERP. Whenever vendor updates the status, that particular data, the change of that data will get synced to ERP. Okay, based on that, the person who has ordered, he can see the status of the PO, whether it has been accepted, it has been rejected, or it is in process, or it is ready to dispatch, or it is already dispatched. So all the status he can view. Okay, also we have set the color code option to the PO here. Okay, so we have set an option with 4 colors. Okay, whenever vendor raises a PO, according to the PO due date, one day before, the PO details will appear yellow in color. Okay, in case that order is delivered partially, the PO details will appear in orange in color. Okay, if the PO is 100% delivered, the PO details will appear in green color. Okay, if the PO is not delivered, it is overdue, then it will appear in red color, so that vendor will aware that based on these color codes, he will know what is the status of the POs. Okay, along with that, vendor has a dashboard to see his last PO notifications. Okay, also his outstanding bills and also his last payment details. So this is the vendor portal management flowchart overall. Okay, now I am going to explain how practically we work in Focus9 ERP with the vendor portal. I want to highlight one more a small change here in vendor portal management about the color code. In the last flowchart, I said there are 4 colors. No, there are only 3 colors. Okay, yellow, orange, red. Okay, the other color is just there is no color. If the PO receives 100%, the PO will disappear from the vendor portal. Okay. There is one more configuration in the ERP. I will show you how to configure the vendor portal. For that, you need to log in with your credentials. Okay, once you are logged in, okay, you need to go to Home, Company, Edit Company. In the Edit Company, you will see Customer Vendor Portal link. Okay, here I have given localhost / portal setup. In case if you are using any public IP, you can give public IP instead of localhost here. Just for your information, I am telling this. In case if you are using any public IP, you can give that public IP. So based on that IP, you can access it. Okay, here in the Edit Company, you have to mention this. Okay, once this is done, okay, you need to log in again. I have portal rights here. Here I can create the portal name. Whatever portal name I want, I can give the portal name. I can give the portal code, and I can give the account type for customer or vendor. If it is vendor, you select as a vendor. Okay, then I have a rights here. So these rights, in these rights, whatever you give, these rights you will get it on the portal dashboard. Okay, so there are so many options here. Whatever is necessary, you can take it here. So I'll just show you the existing one. I'll just edit this. I have given as vendor, and I have given the rights to vendor ledger, display pending orders, and display vendor outstanding bills. If I want my vendor statement also, I can give this. Okay, so like this I can save it. So once this is done, customer and vendor portal admin. Okay, when you click on customer and portal admin, now the vendor which I have created as new vendor, I need to click on vendor tab. Here I'll search for the new vendor. I'll just press Ctrl F. I'll just type new vendor. Now when I type new vendor, you can see it is highlighted here. New vendor, it is highlighted here. Okay, now I click on resend email. When I click on resend email, one email goes to the vendor. Okay, in that email you will get a link. Okay, a vendor portal link with his credentials. Okay, once this email is sent successfully, you will get a message here, email sent successfully. After the customer vendor portal admin setup is done, preferences setup is done, you need to do the email settings. For that you need to go to settings. Under settings, go to configure transactions. In configure transactions, you will see internet. Okay, internet component. Under internet component, okay, you have mail settings. Under mail settings, you will see SMTP settings and outgoing server settings. Here you need to specify all your email settings. Then you need to give your email ID and password. Then you click on test email. When you click on test email, you will get a message here that email sent successfully, test email sent successfully. So once the email is sent, one email will be received by the vendor with the vendor portal link and the login credentials. So vendor portal link which is received by the vendor, he will use that link to use the self service, vendor self service. Okay, once this is done, just update and close. Okay, so after this then you need to configure the PO. I'll just show you the PO. We have configured a vendor PO, a local PO here. In this PO, what you need to do is you have a PO status here. One field we have configured as a PO status as accepted, rejected material, and rejected material as short material and hold. Okay, one status, one field here in header, and status 2 field we need to configure in body. Okay, I'll just show you. Okay, here we have configured the status 2 field as dispatch status. So by default it will be none. Okay, so whenever a vendor change the status in the portal, that particular change will happen here. After saving this PO, or these details will sync to a vendor portal. So once this PO is saved, an email is sent to vendor using trigger in ERP. On receipt of the email, vendor will log into the vendor portal and he will change the PO status. So I'll just show you where this PO status has to be configured in customer and vendor portal admin. Here we have setting. In setting we have status 1 field name, status 2 field name, and ship to. So these 3 fields we need to configure here. Whatever field, the selection field we need in header, that has to be configured in status 1. The body field we need to configure in status 2 field. Okay, these are the 2 main fields which will be updated by the vendor. Also ship to. Okay, after this we have a PO customization. Here these fields which I have checked it, which are in blue in color, these are the extra fields which we have created at the time of implementation. If we check these fields, we will see these fields in the vendor portal in the PO details. So to customize that grid, we need to check these details. Okay, once this is done, you need to save this and close. So you will get a message here that record saved successfully, PO customization saved successfully. Okay, once this setup is done, okay, we will enter the PO, then this PO will sync into the vendor portal. Go to masters and go to accounts. Okay, here I will show you the existing account where the access is there. Okay, now you see here I have a Checkry vendor account. Okay, if I edit this, here you can see in the details I have allow customer vendor portal option is already checked here, and there is an email ID here, and there is a password, and there are portal rights. Okay, the portal rights I will show you how to create the portal rights, and you can give the mobile number. Okay, this is not mandatory, we have kept it mandatory for that field, so we are just defining here. Okay, this is for the existing. If you want to give it to the new vendor, okay, I'll just show you. Okay, here I go to details. Now you see I have an option allow customer for vendor and vendor portal, allow customer or vendor portal. Okay, so I select this. Once I select this, you can see here when I check this, I am getting this portal rights. Okay, if I remove this, I am not able to see the portal rights. So this check you have to give to only those vendors who will access to the portal. Then you have to select the portal name. Okay, like this you have to select the portal name. Okay, then you have to give your email ID. Okay, you have to give your email ID and then save. Okay, it is asking group. I select trade payables or trade payables. Okay, and then I save. Okay, it is asking the telephone number also. I just save this. Okay, the account is saved. I will show you the portal rights. You go to the menu, search customer and vendor portal admin. Okay, when you click on customer and portal admin, now the vendor which I have created as new vendor, I need to click on vendor tab. Here I'll search for the new vendor. I'll just press Ctrl F. I'll just type new vendor. Now when I type new vendor, you can see it is highlighted here. New vendor, it is highlighted here. Okay, now I click on resend email. When I click on resend email, one email goes to the vendor. Okay, in that email you will get a link. Okay, a vendor portal link with his credentials. Okay, once this email is sent successfully, you will get a message here, email sent successfully. After that you need to go to PO customization. See, you see here in the bottom I got email sent successfully. Now I will open my email and I'll show you how you will get the link, a vendor portal link. You can just go and check your email. I have here. See here, I have received the link from the vendor portal. Now you see this is the portal link and this is my username and my password also. This vendor portal will create. If you want to change your password, I will show you how to change the password also. I just click on the link. When I click on the link, the vendor portal will get open. I'll just give my email ID. Okay, I'll just sign in. After sign in, if you want to change password, here on the top there is a change password option is there. You can just click on this. It will ask you the old password and then it will mention you to give the new password. So just give your new password and change the password. Okay, so this is the dashboard what you get on vendor portal. Okay, here you see last outstanding bills, last payment received, statement of account, ledger, outstanding bills. Then you will get notifications. In these notifications you will get all the POs, last 5 POs. Okay, here when you click on view, you can see those POs what has been ordered by the end user. I'll just log out from the vendor portal. I will enter 3 POs and 1 MRN and I'll show you how the color code of the POs will appear as I mentioned in the flowchart. Okay, I have logged out from the vendor portal. I am just going to the ERP application. Okay, here we will enter one local PO. Okay, vendor PO local. Okay, this is my PO. Okay, I will raise 3 POs here from one branch. Okay, so here I am directly entering a PO. Okay, I'll just select new vendor Chakri. Okay, it's Chakri vendor account. Okay, I can just check whether the same account, is it the same account or not. Okay, I'll just go to I think this is not okay. Yeah, this is the same account. See here I mentioned the email ID. It is the same account. So I will create the PO from the access given to the vendor, which is Chakri vendor. Okay, here I'll select the branch, any branch I'll select. I'll select the warehouse, to which warehouse this particular PO should receive. Okay, for customer has requested to give store warehouse and store branch. Okay, to which warehouse it has to it has to be received, and from which warehouse this PO is getting raised. Okay, so I just give this date as okay, September 1st. Okay, just to show the color code, I am selecting this date. I'm just selecting the test data. Okay, here the dispatch status by default you have to select as done. Okay, and save it. Okay, this PO we have saved. I just mentioned the quantity as 10 and I'll resave it again. Okay, okay, I'll just close this. Now I will go to the vendor portal. Okay, I will log in into vendor portal. Now you see I got a notification here. Okay, like this I'll get a notification. If I want to see this PO, I'll just click on view details. Here you see the color code has become red because the due date is mentioned as 9. So now we are on 4th of September. That is the reason it is showing as red in color. Okay, I will enter one more PO. I'll just copy the same PO and I'll show you with the due date and all. Okay, now here I will enter the date as okay, I'll enter the date as 03. Okay, my due date is okay, like this I will enter my due date as 04 and I'll save this PO. Okay, as I said in my flowchart, whenever the end user will save this PO, you can see his email also. Okay, now you see I'll get an email. Okay, once I get this email, vendor will see this PO has been received. Now based on this, now vendor will go to the portal and he will refresh it. Now you see two POs I'm seeing here. One is yellow in color, okay, one is overdue, red in color. Okay, you can see the due date here. One is of 5/9, one is of 1/9. Okay, so today is 4th, so we have one more day, so it is showing us yellow in color. Now let me receive the first PO partially and show you how the color applies. Okay, I just go to ERP, I go to inward MRN. Okay, I click on pending POs. I'm just converting this PO that I will receive partially. I'll make it as 6. Okay, I'll save. Okay, after saving this, I'll go to the vendor portal again. I'll see what is my color code status. I just refresh this and view details. Now you see the partial PO which has been received, that has changed to orange in color. Okay, now let me receive this PO in full. Okay, once we receive this PO in full, this particular message will disappear as I mentioned in the flowchart. Okay, so I just select the balance quantity also. I'll just convert it. Okay, I'll just convert it and I'll save. Okay, after saving, again I'll go to the vendor portal. I go to the vendor portal, I'll just refresh it. Now I'll see my notifications here, my details. See, that PO got disappeared. This is how the vendor portal will work. Thank you for watching vendor portal presentation. If you like my video, please subscribe. Thank you.